Mommy Talk, the champions of parenting. Dr. Pert, Miss Lisa, and Miss April. Real, relatable, and right on time. Mommy Talk provides information for all facets of parenting. Listen and engage as the champions of parenting bring their experience and expertise to the world of parenthood.
Our listeners can expect to receive encouragement and resources that can help them with positive parental engagement. Come talk to us. Hello and welcome back to Mommy Talk. I hope that you all have enjoyed your Easter holiday with family and friends. Did you ladies enjoy the holiday?
I did.
Yes, I had an
I
awesome
really
time.
did.
Good.
I love my family and my children.
Amen. And if my family is listening, I love you as well.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
Good.
Do you still do the Easter egg hunts? I've been thinking about that because I haven't heard a lot of talk of these different activities. So I was wondering, do families still participate in the Easter egg hunts? What about the kitty discos? Are these things still going on? Have you all been hearing about stuff like that, these different activities?
Yes, they still go on in my community. Every Easter, they have an Easter egg hunt for everybody in the community to come out and find those eggs full of goodies. Yum,
Nice.
yum.
Okay.
Yeah, I found a kitty disco. I saw several of them that were happening both on Saturday and Sunday,
Okay.
as well as personal households were having Easter egg hunts for their family.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. So if you are a champion parent and you are keeping these traditions alive with the Easter egg hunts, with the kitty discos, the Easter speeches in some churches. I know some churches does Easter speeches. Whatever celebration you are doing to bring your family together, I want to say kudos. This is my mommy parent shout out. Kudos and great salutations to you. You are awesome. You're an awesome champion parent. And remember that it doesn't have to cost big bucks if you decide to potluck and share the load. Bring that family together. When the ball has dropped in our families with certain activities, we have to take the initiative and pick the ball back up and get things rolling. Why, you may ask? Because it's the champion parent way.
That's
Woo-hoo,
right.
Champion parents.
Ow,
Shout
ow,
out.
That's
Yeah,
what's up.
so, all right.
Yes. So for all your technology and communication needs, you can contact Rico Funches at All Tech Communications. His number is 313-605-6913. He's a low voltage contractor. Also, he's good at putting in security cameras, access controls, Wi-Fi access, and also LED lighting. That is Rico Funches at All Tech Communications. The number is 313-605-6913. Also, his website is www.alltechmi.com. That's www.alltechmi.com. Also, for parents whom are potty training their children, check out Easy Does It to purchase baby bottoms free from harmful chemicals. To save money and the environment, visit easydoesit.com. That is EZDOEZIT.com.
All right, so moving along today, we have a much needed topic, which is bullying. So I am going to ask my wonderful co-host, what is bullying?
Sure. So bullying is unwanted aggressive behavior among school-age children that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. So basically when children are taunting other children unwarningly, making them feel bad about themselves and causing insecurities.
Good. And this is Dr. Pert. And so when I think of bullying, I think of it when an individual or group targets another person with the intent to harm or humiliate that person. It could be physically or emotionally. And it can happen in school, in the neighborhood where you live, online. But what makes it bullying is the question that we have to ask. past, and what makes it bullying is when the behavior is repeated. And I want parents out there to know that there is a difference between conflict and bullying.
Yes.
For example, so like you have your elementary kids, they may disagree over, oh, I want to play with this toy. No, I want it, and it leads to a scuffle. Then you might have your high school kids who might disagree over who was the greatest rapper of all times. Is it Drake, Jay-Z, Tupac, Notorious B.I.G.? And then they get into a scuffle. So conflict is normal. So does this make a child a bully for possibly responding physically or emotionally to a situation? No. It just means that that child needs to learn how to self-regulate their emotions, which we all can do, right, ladies? Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So parents, bullying is the repeated intention to harm or humiliate a person.
Okay, and so parents out there listening, we want to hear from you, 313-837-1340. This is Miss Lisa. And again, today's topic is about bullying. We're going to have Miss April, who's going to cover diagnosis of bullying, different signs of bullying. And then I, Miss Lisa, will go into coping and healing from bullying. And then Dr. Pert will discuss ways to spread awareness. How can we prevent bullying from happening?
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Listeners, if you have a question or comments, come talk to us at 313-837-1340. Again, that's 313-837-1340. Your input is important and valued.
Yes.
So when you discover your child is being bullied, you may feel a variety of emotions from anger to fear to sadness. These reactions and emotional responses are natural for parents who want their child to feel valued, protected, and loved. To become an effective advocate for your child, it is important to acknowledge your emotions and then focus on developing an action plan to help your child. When you first talk with your child about bullying, be prepared to listen without judgment and provide a safe and supportive place where your child can work out their feelings. Children may not be ready to open up right away as they are dealing with the emotional effects of bullying and may be feeling insecure, frightened, vulnerable, angry, or sad. When your child begins to tell their story, just listen and avoid making judgmental comments. I personally have to fix my facial expressions often. My sons always remind me to fix my face. So therefore, I recognize when I listen to my children, I need to have a more positive and relaxed disposition. Ladies, how do you prepare yourselves when you're having an intense conversation with your children?
Well, I'm going to mimic what you said, Miss April, about relaxing, definitely relaxing, because as a parent, of course, we have that inner paranoia, and sometimes our first reaction is that of a frantic.
Right, exactly.
Frantic,
Like, oh,
what?
That's with my baby.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So definitely with patience, and we have to relax, and stress. Stress is caused by those frantic reactions. So, yeah, I would definitely say relax.
And this is Dr. Pert, and what I would do is first I would educate my children on what is bullying. And we will discuss, the signs and things of that nature so that they can know, well, you also can be a bully as well. So we'll talk about that as well. We'll have an intimate conversation on the topic of bullying. And if my child is a victim of being bullying, I would meet with the stakeholders and fact find, because it's always two sides to a story. Mm-hmm. So I would definitely fact find and then meet with the stakeholders and find out how we can be problem solvers so nobody is being a target of bullying.
Absolutely.
Okay. It is important to learn as much as possible about the situation, such as how long the behavior has been happening, who has been involved, and what steps have been taken. Encourage your child to talk and let them know they are not alone. You are there to help. So
that's good advice, Miss April. That's very good advice.
Yes,
because we want our children to feel like they're not alone.
Right. So make sure your child understands that 1, it's not their fault. They are not to blame. 2, they are not alone. You are here to help. 3, it is an adult's responsibility to make the bullying stop. 4, bullying is never okay and they have the right to be safe. 5, no one deserves to be bullied. And 6, they deserve to be treated with respect. So now we will go to our phone lines and answer our first call. Welcome to Mommy Talk. Thank you for calling.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
How you doing?
Okay. I'm good. How are you ladies this evening?
We're
doing
good.
good.
Wait, are you
Hey.
a champion at parenting?
You know what? That's a great question. So if I can start there before I go into the
Yes.
bullying thing, I just want to say that yesterday what happened to me, I'm so glad you guys started the show with that because growing up, I did that as a kid. You know, we had Easter egg hunts every Easter. And I co-parent, you know, I'm a father. I have 2 kids. You know, we did church yesterday. My baby girl, who's 11, after a while, she kind of said, Daddy, you know, well, I didn't get an Easter egg hunt this year. You know, I really missed that. And I kind of felt bad about that. Then what really hit it home for me is when my little cousin came over. Now, this little fella's only about 4 or 5. And the first question I asked him, just thinking like it was an age thing, I said, hey, man, I said, did you get an Easter basket? He said, well, I got an Easter basket, but I didn't do the Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
And that just kind of crushed me, and it took me back to the childhood. So I think what you guys said was so important, that keeping those traditions, you know, in the family
Yes,
going
absolutely.
is just so strong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
traditions are important, and the kids do look forward
Yes,
to
they
them
do.
specific activities for Easter.
Yes,
Thank
they
you
do.
for sharing.
Hey, yeah, so real quick, while I got your time, the other thing, I'm an educator myself. My name is Mr. Bacon. I work at a high school out in Novi. And the current school that I'm working at, the demographic, these kids have come from the bigger traditional brick and mortars and motors. And most of them have tell me that, you know, they come to the new school because of bullying issues. So as you guys know very well, this is an ongoing thing. I think what I want to do is pose a question to you ladies, and maybe you can let the other listeners, think about as well.
Okay.
Is that when I ask them about the bullying, the number one thing they say is that it happened on social media. Again, I'm raising 2 kids myself. To be honest with you, a couple of years ago, my own daughter got caught up with some social media things that I had to go to the school about. And I just see it as growing more so out of control than us as parents, as teachers, getting control on it.
Yes.
What can we think about doing with that social media battle that we're having?
So as a parent, we have to monitor our children's social media and have conversations and let them know what to post and what to respond. I know a lot of times, students or children like to go back and forth, and we just need to have conversations regarding that, because that can be potentially harmful. So just have conversations regarding social media and proper etiquette.
And
for our
also,
children.
I'm sorry, Miss April. And also, so this is Miss Lisa responding. So also, when you think about us growing up, we didn't have social media. So if we were bullied or humiliated in any type of way, we had that time to go home and kind of reflect and refresh and come back to school. And the thing about these kids is like things are so widespread as soon as something happens. So you dealing with a lot of emotional trauma and things of that nature. So yes, I agree with Miss April, and definitely keep the lines of communication open.
Yes. Thank you for calling.
Mr.
Absolutely.
Bacon.
Yes.
Mr. Bacon, before you go, I want you to tell the world, are you a champion at parenting?
I am definitely a champion at parenting. I wear with a badge of honor on my sleeve. So, yes, absolutely I am.
And thank you for the call and the support, and you have a
Yes.
good day.
Yes, you ladies continue doing good things. I think it's a much well-needed show, and I'll be a continued listener.
Oh, wow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, good evening.
Good evening. We have another caller. Hey, caller. Welcome to Mommy Talk. How can we help you?
Yes, hi. My name is Mrs. Parks. I'm a grandmother. My husband and I, we have 14 grandchildren.
Ooh, amen.
14.
two-
That's what's up.
Yeah, two of my grandchildren. One will be 17, and the other was 14. And thank you so much for this conversation, because I find that it always has to be someone to step in when it's bullying or just even now that I, social media, because like you said, Miss April, and everything, when you guys, because my children are in their late 20s and 30s, and they have children, and it's like it's a different world out here.
Yes, it is.
And so we have to communicate with them every day. Tell them we love them. Have that conversation with them. Tell them to put the phone down. Let's go talk. Let's love each other and engage in more time. Time is of the essence with our children.
Yes, it is. I definitely agree with you, and that goes to the statement that hurt people hurt people. So I thank you so much, because that is definitely something you have to continue to instill in your children, the love, the value. And a lot of these bullies, they bully because they're hurt, maybe from neglect or, abuse and different things of that nature. So yes, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. God bless you.
Wait a minute. Are you a champion parent?
Oh, yes, I am. I raised 7, and all of them graduated from school, went to college, and I have 14 grandbabies now.
Thank you.
Yes. Woo-hoo. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We have another caller on the line. Caller, thank you for calling.
Welcome to Mommy Talk.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I agree with all you young ladies, and this is a very good topic. I remember when I was growing up, I used to get bullied by my name, the way I looked, but it's so much more worse today, and just because of social media.
Yes.
And it's out of control. The kids are actually killing themselves because of bullying. And so I just want everybody to love their children, and as grandparents, I'm a grandparent, always talk to your grandchildren.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We, as a adult, if we recognize bullying, we have to take a proactive role in doing something about it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, caller.
Yes, thank you for calling.
Are you a champion at parenting?
Yes, and I want to give a shout out to April. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have another caller. Welcome to Mommy Talk. You're on the air. Hi, caller. Welcome to Mommy Talk.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, my name is Vanessa, and I have a question with bullying. How do you get the children to be able to tell the difference between, like, how kids go back and forth with one another? We used to call it playing the dozens back in the day.
Yeah.
How do you get children nowadays to be able to distinguish between just your back and forth, how children name call and, things like that, and bullying?
Yeah,
So
I think
if they're having that playful kind of banter back and forth, how do you get kids not to take everything as, oh, I'm being bullied?
yes, I think this is Miss April speaking. I think that today's kids are different in the sense of they're a lot more aware of potential bullying situations as well as bantering. So they are kind of I want to say sensitive, but for the lack of better words, that's what I'll use. So sometimes when they're bantering or going back and forth, it escalates and it leads to unwanted places. So to answer your question, kids, you could just tell them to kind of monitor what their back and forth with their peers to see what it may lead to. As long as it is not exaggerated or lingers, I think it's fine. So you could just have them monitor what their conversation is.
And then also, if we could add, this is Ms. Lisa responding, confidence builds like strength. And what I mean by that is kids, the way that they internalize things, words shouldn't hurt us. We know that words do hurt. They hurt emotionally.
Absolutely.
But if we help to build the confidence, and we have to, it's all about awareness, make the children aware of even that statement, hurt people hurt people. You have to consider the source, understand where it's coming from. Sometimes, a person can come to you with the most ugliest words, but you have to understand sometimes that person is hurting, and it's crazy when you think of the victim having sympathy for the bully, but in retrospect, that's what you have to do. You have to have the sympathy for the bully, and especially if it's not physical, and teach them that words are just words, although they do hurt, but how confident you are. You don't have to own what that person is saying about you.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
And
Yep.
so this is Dr. Pert. And so one thing children need to understand the impact that their behavior have on others and realize the hurt they are causing. So the adult who is witnessing the situation can redirect those individuals and have conversation to help them understand the difference of bullying and teasing and what it may lead to.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you for calling. Are you a champion parent?
Most definitely.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for calling and tuning in to Mommy Talk. Have a good evening.
Alrighty. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, caller. Welcome to Mommy Talk. You're on the air.
Hello,
Hi.
April.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, this is your mom.
Hi,
And I'm
Mom.
just calling that this is a good subject, and I agree with the young man that talked about the social media. But then I have another point that I think the school system should do a more information to the kids or a class or something to help kids understand about bullying. Because I think some of the time the kids bully kids because they really don't understand what's going on at that person's house. Or what's
Yes.
going on with that person.
Yeah.
And so they bully them because they don't understand. But once you sit down and talk to them, because I remember my middle son was handicapped, and some of the kids down the street was laughing at him because they thought it was funny. And my older kids wanted to fight him. So what I did was I took the kids and I explained to them why my son was handicapped, why he looked like that. And the kids understood. And then they started coming to the door asking, well, can Delaney come out?
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things, even with the school systems, that they need to do.
Yes,
Absolutely.
information is powerful, and having a conversation and making the information relatable to the children or to the students.
And you were a part of that much needed village. We need our village back, and you took the initiative to do your part as the village, so which made it more relatable and made the kids feel more comfortable because they do respond, differently or negatively to things that they don't understand, and you help them understand.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And this
Okay.
is Dr. Pert, and I want to say right now in Detroit Public Schools Community District, we are providing intervention with the students. One of the strategies that we're using with the students is restorative practices, and that's when we sit the children down and they get a chance to discuss their feelings, and then also the adults also make the children aware of how their interactions or their behavior affects one another. And it's very powerful because it allows students to be able to recognize that they need to make changes in their behavior.
And I'm glad to hear that they're doing that because I think that's very important because they spend a lot of time at school. And so at school, sometimes at home, it might not happen, but at school, it can happen. So I'm glad that it's happening. And you ladies are doing an excellent job, a really excellent job.
Yes, thank you
Thank
for
you.
calling,
Thank you.
Mom.
Oh, wait.
And you are a champion parent.
All right.
Yes, I am because I raised you.
Yep, thank
All right.
you. Love you.
Yes, love you.
Thank you. Okay, so again, this is a very needed topic. Again, callers, the number is 313-837-1340. We still want to hear from you. And so it's important to think about approaching your children about bully awareness. Bully comes in all forms of the human being because bullying is so prevalent these days. These are conversations that should often take place. For the victim, the conversations allow them to see that there are possibilities in putting the abuse to an end. It also shows them that they can manage, they can survive, they can overcome with dignity. It's not the end of the world. And so another avenue to think about is that suicide is never an option. Because we know that sometimes when children feel like they've had enough, or people in general, when they feel like they've had enough, they feel like suicide is an option. And so we just have to continue these conversations and spread the awareness. For the abuser, the conversation allows the human side of compassion. If you share relatable stories, say, for instance, if your child is the one that is doing the bullying, share relatable stories with that child. Let them know, because we all have been a victim of some type of bullying type behavior. So let them hear that relatable story from you. And then also we have another aspect, the bystanders, the onlookers, observing and ready to either film, record, for the purpose to share and humiliate, to entertain or inform or whatever it may be. So for them, it will provide the opportunity for them to do the right thing and tell someone. It can definitely save a life.
Absolutely. And then sometimes these recordings are helpful.
They are,
because
absolutely.
it allows us to see what the perpetrator is doing and
Yes.
for consequences to be given. So as a parent, you want to educate your child what it means to be a bully or to be a target. If your child is a target, you want to go and you want to fact find first, because as a parent, you know, you hear things and you get all emotional, but remember, there are two sides to a story, and you want to meet with stakeholders and you want to come up with a resolution.
Yes.
And you don't want to necessarily call up Pookie, Ray, like, come on, we about to go get them, you know.
we don't want them.
No, so
That's
just
right.
fact find and meet with the stakeholders and come up with a positive solution. And then also you want to be a positive role model yourself. You want to redirect your children's behavior and have honest conversation about how they are possibly targeting an individual and causing hurt. So you have to really step up and be active if you recognize that. And also another strategy that you can use with children is the PIE strategy, where you ask them, how are you feeling physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually? And you may find out that the child that is being a bully is actually being bullied by somebody else,
right.
or it's a deeper situation that's going on that's causing them to act that way. So, and then on another note, if your child is a target, you have to tell them to stick up for themselves, but don't go shooting nobody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you can do, champion parents.
Yeah, so in closing, we appreciate you for listening and spending your evening with us here on Mommy Talk, where we discuss important factors relating to bullying. This evening, we covered the diagnosis of bullying, strategic coping and healing practices, and the importance of education and spreading awareness of bullying. Dealing with bullying can ultimately erode a child's confidence. To help restore it, encourage your child to spend time with friends who have a more positive influence. Participation in clubs, sports, or other enjoyable activities builds strengths and also friendships. As a parent, provide a listening ear about difficult situations and encourage your child to also tell you about the good parts of their day while listening attentively. Make sure your child knows that you believe in them and that you'll do what you can to address any bullying that occurs. So in closing, again, here's a quote from Ellen DeGeneres. We focus so much on our differences, and that is creating a lot of chaos and negativity as well as bullying in the world. I think if everybody focuses on what we all have in common, which is we all want to be happy. Thank you for listening to Mommy Talk, and have an amazing remainder of the evening.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Mommy Talk, the champions of parenting. And remember, you too can be a champion of parenting. Continue to support and love your children. For additional information, you can contact us at info@mommytalk.com or visit our website at www.mommytalk.com. We can also be found via social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mommy Talk Network. Please listen to us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. on WCHB Detroit's Gospel Station.
Come talk to us.